We weren't looking for glory when we jumped into the Reach. Just fuel, maybe a little bit of ice, hey, maybe a little bit of scrap to keep the big ship energy creaking along for another run. Nothing was special about this drop. There weren't any good points of interest, no early skirmishes, just silence and rusted out husks floating through the void. Like everything else you'll find out here in the Reach, our crew was a patchwork. I was a pilot, and I'd left my usual ship and crew back at the station for a few one-off runs. Cope was our engineer, a robot with a keen sense of self-preservation. Darren and Michael, they handled the boardings. They were two players with more firepower than finesse. And even though Darren was mute, he could still point and shoot, which was enough for me. Michael, on the other hand, he was lagging in and out of consciousness the entire run. We didn't spot it until we had already gotten out into the Reach. Either it was a technical issue or one too many rounds at the Lucky Docks. We didn't really have an option but to press on. Things were quiet on our end for a long while, with nothing but the hum of our engines. That is until Cope died, or disconnected. Maybe his coolant failed, maybe his core fused, maybe that self-preservation he was always bragging about was finally kicking in. All I know is his console blinked red a couple of times and the ship got a little bit colder. The unfortunate thing is we really didn't have time to mourn. See, while our story was quiet so far, the kill feed told an entirely different story. Ships were dying, one by one, like stars going out. We hadn't seen any of them, just their names etched into our consoles for a few seconds, and then back to nothing. We had no clues and nothing to go off of. That is until the Reach finally opened the gate. The artifact was pinged, top middle quadrant, buried in the monolith, and we plotted a straight shot, not a second to waste. With the wild gate open, if we wanted the win, this was our only chance. As we pulled up to an empty monolith, our system started to blare. Somehow, a privateer class ship had gotten the drop on us. They drifted just to our back left, and as I looked, their name flashed on our consoles. Magic trick. Smug little name for a smug little ship. They came in hot. 6 turrets, high-speed velocity bursts tearing through our shields, ripping at our hulls, but we were flying a Bastion, slow and tanky, armored like an old war tank. I 180'd us around